Got Sumit with us from ME Gamers. John Dyer, who's joining us as well, first time on the program. Good to have him along. And let me come to John first of all, the ex-professional gamer. You spent all those hours. You think this is going to appeal to more the casual gamers at home, or other guys that really take things seriously going to be using this new technology?
That's actually a great question, and the answer is that it appeals to all kinds of gamers. The titles that are coming out can appeal to, whether they're sports titles that appeal to party gamers, or even hardcore gamers, things like SOCOM, which is upcoming, a great action title, as well as we mentioned before, The Fight, which is like an MMA-style boxing kind of game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, something you said you were playing golf on it. I mean, what was the difference playing golf with this and playing it on the regular controller with the PlayStation?
Obviously, the idea of having a feel of the golf club like in your hand, and not to mention, since the motion tracking from the PlayStation Eye to the controller itself, you actually get one-to-one feel of actually holding a golf club in your hand, because as you're twisting the controller left and right, so does the club in the game. So you actually have proper swing action. And me personally, I'm actually taking up golf, so I get to practice my swing properly in the game. So for me, I think that's quite a great pickup. But I like what he had to say about the hardcore gamers, is that that's the one thing I felt that Nintendo lacked in. Like, although it has a great first-party lineup, it has a great competition behind it, but PlayStation Move has much more focus on the hardcore gamers out there, taking a much more advanced technology, how do I say, bettering it, and putting it on a much more HD console as well. So what we're seeing here is that you're going to see like proper games like Killzone 3, Resistance 3, Tiger Woods per se, even The Fight itself from first-party titles, even God knows what EA and Activision have in mind as well. Much more games to be coming out on this. But what we're seeing in this is that motion controls have taken the next generation of consoles.
Yeah. Well, I was going to come once again, John. I mean, this is coming out. It's coming out after the Wii. They've done this already. Now we've got this coming out, and not too far away we've got Kinect. You know, how successful do you think this product is going to be with the landscape of the other products as well?
I don't doubt the success of this, the Move at all. It's actually been in R&D since around 2004. There was a recent video that surfaced online showing one of the hardcore R&D gentlemen from PlayStation demoing a device. I believe it was at a university.
Okay.
And this was, again, circa 2004. So it's been in the works for a while now, and they've chalked up the precision on the device. I mean, as Sumit will tell you, with a game like Tiger Woods Golf,
I mean, it's got to be very precise.
Absolutely, a game like golf doesn't need much room for lack of precision, whether it's in real life or whether it's on the PlayStation. But I think one of the benefits is that it uses the camera in relation to an actual animate object, and it connects with the ball on top. You know, it tracks the movement of the ball with the camera, not just, you yourself, or not just a weight-based controller, allowing for actually a full three-dimensional range of spatial recognition as opposed to two-dimensional.
What kind of games do you think are going to work the best with this PlayStation Move?
I think, if anything, like all motion control games will work best. Like anything that uses the camera per se, all the like recently they came out with the game iPad. iPad recently came out with that, and now they support PlayStation Move as well. So you got the update for that. You can easily control your pet by like the Move controller, play around with him, whatnot, rather than holding the cards as previously in the iPad game. Echo Chrome for this is also going to be coming out for the PS3, which is a great puzzle game. So you're able to move around with the puzzle with the PlayStation Move. Also for hardcore gamers, they're actually releasing another accessory that comes out with this. It's called the navigation controller, which is actually the analog stick option for the PlayStation Move. So you're able to control the character with the analog stick and able to maybe fire with this, like as if you're playing a first-person shooter game like SOCOM or Killzone per se, and you can actually navigate the player with the navigation controller and move the gun around the screen with the Move controller. So, so there's a lot more features and a lot more gameplay involved in this, especially since it's catered more to the hardcore gamers as well.
Now, you know, when this kind of technology comes out, there's nothing worse if there aren't enough games to play. You know, and you sat there with this fabulous technology, but there's only a couple of games that you can actually use it with. Do you think they're really going to, you know, flood the market now with games that are compatible with this?
I think that, I know that there are a bunch of titles coming out in the next quarter and the first quarter of 2011 that are definitely game-breaking titles that hardcore gamers like Sumit over here would love to pick up. I'll probably join him playing some SOCOM. We talked about that before, actually.
Yeah. And what about, you know, for the average guy on the street that's not a hardcore gamer, that's you know, just maybe plays at the weekend?
The suite that comes with the starter kit is actually very not so savvy gamer friendly.
So you get some games with it?
Yes, you do. You get a couple demos that come with it. One of them being the sports package, Sports Champions. It has an array of different games, tennis, and archery, which is actually really fun.
I believe there's bowling also as well. I think bowling is also one of the games. You got table tennis, which is a phenomenal game. You got this great frisbee game that comes with it. It's called, I think it's like frisbee golf. And what the idea is that you have a limited number of throws before you actually get the frisbee where it has to reach. And once you reaches there, it's like a hole-in-one or a par or a birdie and whatnot. So it's like frisbee golf, and I think that's a lot of fun to play, actually.
Mm-hmm. Now, when this game, you say it's releasing this coming weekend, you'll actually have to buy the controller and the disc as well.
No, there are 3 bundle packages, I believe, that are going to be coming out. And what it is, the first bundle, which is the normal, you can just buy the Move controller. That's for people who already have the camera and who possibly will buy the game later or whatnot, who want to play on different games they owned from before. Then you have the second bundle, which is the Move controller, the camera itself, and a game packed in, which is Sports Champion.
Okay.
And the last bundle is that if you don't have any of these things, including a PS3, it's the PS3 and the second bundle altogether.
Right. Okay, so you can get very well set up, can't you? Okay, we're going to hear from a guy called Tom O'Connor, who's been part of the team that actually developed this technology, and I'm sure he'll be very excited as it releases across the world. PlayStation Move.
My name's Tom O'Connor, and I'm producer at External Development, which is part of Worldwide Studios at Sony. And today, it's a really exciting time for us. We're all here to experience the PlayStation Move controller and see a range of software that's available. That's coming up in the fall. The PlayStation Move's not just all about casual games. As you've seen today, you've seen games like SOCOM, which are kind of more for the hardcore. Move Party is definitely a family and kind of social game. Because it's so intuitive, because it's one-on-one tracking, you've got an object in your hand. It's a real-world object. It uses real-world actions. There's no gestures to learn, buttons to learn. It's what you do in the room happens on the screen, so it's really intuitive. Anyone can pick this game up. So basically the controller itself has got like a combination of motion sensors, and then the gem controller, which you saw the light on the end, that tracks Z depth and positioning. So we've got so much data coming in, we can just track it 100% in 3D space. There's 5 games in the demo today. So we started off and you saw the Bug Splat. So basically Bug Splat, it's a really good example of the controller being augmented with the object, and you can splat the bugs. Really, really fast movements. It's really frantic, lots and lots of fun. We've got a wacky barbershop game. You're using clippers to cut the hair, and then use the dye bottle to colour it. Again, it's really simple to play. It's like one button press on all of the games. And we've got a painting game that shows incredible precision, and then we've got the kind of like a bit more kind of zany chicks with the fan. It's to guide the chicks into the net using the angle of the controller and the kind of draft that you get from the fan. So at the moment, Move Party was designed with one controller in mind. It's as many players as you can fit in your front room. You pass the controller on, take your turn, and then pass on to the next person. I think people are kind of used to having like gestures, which then kind of translates into the game to do an animation. And this time you're in the game, you're holding an object, you're doing the move. So if you do something wrong, it's only your fault, nobody else's.
Tom O'Connor, it's only your fault if you make any mistakes. Just coming back to John, we were just having a bit of a laugh there. When you first got into gaming, it was nothing like this, was it? What were some of the controllers that you first started out with?
I believe I started out with just a keyboard.
A computer keyboard?
Computer keyboard, using the arrow keys to run around, and the old A for look up. And
oh, yeah.
Ah, the old A for look up.
All right.
Oh,
those were the days. Yeah. You'd tell your grandchildren about that, wouldn't you? Right. And then what after that? What did you kind of progress to?
I was hanging around a computer store in Toronto, and a lot of the very savvy gamers there were like, buddy, you got to pick up the mouse, play with the mouse. It'll be so much better if you can use the mouse to look around and walk around with the arrow keys, WASD style.
Okay.
Okay. You give it a try, and of course, adapting to something new is completely different, and you suck for a long while, and then you hit the curve on it, and brings you to a whole new stage.
Yeah, which I suppose you've been doing now for years and years and years, haven't you? I keep complaining about the fact that when I'm playing football, I still have to look down for the shoot button, and I wish they'd just write shoot on the right button, so, because I just miss so many goals.
Amateur.
Yeah.